Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the year-end review of
Fresh Talk.
Fresh Talk. That's an original.
Yeah?
Yeah.
CJ original?
Yeah. Speaking of originals, I'm in a good mood, Dan. I'm flying high off an energy drink. I just got done working out, and I got the strongest tea of all time. Just stopped at Hamburger Habit, got a nice tea, and literally, I don't know what they put in it, but there's like crack cocaine in it.
Vodka.
So
They put
I'm
vodka
fired
in it.
up. I'm fired up.
Nice.
But it led to a creative inspiration, as it often does on the long drive over to your parents' basement, where we now are.
Yep.
We're actually in a different, if I doubt anybody's watching this live,
Nope.
But if they were, they would see that we are in a different part of the basement.
Yeah, the basement's very big.
Yeah, very big basement you've got here, Mr. and Mrs. Clark.
Thank you.
But on the long drive over here, because you live on the furthest end of town and I live on the other end of town,
Yep.
Which most people probably think is not a long drive, but for spoiled guys like us, it is.
It's big for Ventura.
It's big. I was inspired with a porno title, but like, okay, whatever, right? Everybody comes up with porno titles when they're driving around.
As you do.
Not exciting, but I got a three-parter for you. Okay,
Three-parter?
ready? A trilogy. Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, the original, the classic, right? Stoked to be poked.
All right.
Pretty good, right?
All right.
For like, stoked to be poked. Okay. The sequel, Stoked to be Poked Part 2, Electrics in Her Bungaloo.
Oh, jeez. All right.
Pretty
That's
good, right?
inventive.
And that's a
inventive.
play off of Electric
Boogaloo.
Electric
Yeah, yeah.
Boogaloo. Electrics in Her Bungaloo. This one I'm really proud of. Stoked, the final one, Stoked to be Poked Part 3. The person in her can is Dan. No, sorry, I blew it. The prisoner in her can. Oh, God damn it. I was so good in the car. It was a play. It was a play on the prisoner of Azkaban.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and it was like,
Ass Caban.
yeah, the person in her can is Dan.
That doesn't sound like the prisoner of Azkaban at all.
Yeah, it was better in the car, sorry. But that's the Stoked to be Poked trilogy coming in 2016. Coming, see you.
Of
And
course.
yeah,
Of
yeah,
course.
coming
Isn't there
in
an Owen
2016.
country? All that. Yeah.
I'm really proud of that. That's all. Stoked to be poked. That's it.
Wow. That must have just been the last leg of that drive. What was the rest of your drive like?
Yeah, well, I was working on Stoked to be Poked sequels. I mean, once the inspiration stuck with Stoked to be Poked, then it was,
Do you remember even driving at that point? You must have been so entrenched.
I get in a car accident, and as the medics wheel me out of the burning Camry, the last thing I say is, Stoked to be poked.
The prisoner of Azkaban.
What were
All right.
at the funeral, like, what were his last words? He said he was stoked to be poked. That'd be tough. You guys would get a laugh out of that, though.
We would. It'd be on your tombstone.
Yeah. Totally. Well, Dan, we are here for the year-end finale of Fresh Talk.
We just made it. It's almost 2016.
Exactly. As we record this, we're a couple days away from the new year.
Yep.
And we are going to be talking today about our favorite things of the year.
Yeah.
And we have some listener feedback too, which is always nice.
We do indeed.
I mean, let's get down and dirty because our segments are out the window, because usually we pick things that we like every week, but we're just hopping into it. And we got a lot to talk about.
It's a whole show of things we like.
A whole show of things, and the prerequisite is it's got to be 2015.
Prerequisite?
Did I say that wrong?
Prerequisite?
Is that one of those tomato words?
No. That was just a mispronunciation.
Oh.
You fucked up, is all.
Gotcha. Okay. Tomato, tomati,
Tamando.
Tamando. Tomato, tamando. The Chris J story. And it's just me holding not one, but 3 tomatoes,
It's like, have you ever seen those YouTube guide to pronunciations of words? They're fucking, we'll have to look one up when we're done. They're so funny.
That's awesome.
It's it's not, 2015, but they're hilarious.
That's good. So that's the main thing, though. So when we get some of our listener feedback that we got, we'll be checking to see if this shit came out in 2015, because I hate when people do year-end lists. And again, if it's a series, as long as it was on in 2015, that's fine. But some people are like, no, it's my favorite thing this year. It's like, no, that was last year.
We'll get there, but I might have an exception to that list.
Okay, we'll see.
But we'll see if it qualifies.
So let's start, since we are music guys and we come from the world of music. Let's start with music. Let's start with our records of the year. Dan, I don't know. I basically picked the 3 that I love, and then a couple that I really enjoyed as well.
Yeah.
So how do you want to do it? You want to go back and forth with our tops and then do some honorable mentions?
I really only have one pick for this year, because I didn't listen to a whole lot of new music.
Oh, wow. Okay. We'll start it off. What is your record of the year?
My record of the year is the new Punchline record, Thrilled.
Oh,
because it's great. I mean, they're good friends of ours.
Yeah.
Did some touring with them, but they're great songwriters too. And
absolutely,
as sort of on the fence as I am about half the record, it's still a great record. The songs that are amazing are amazing.
Wow,
it's great to hear.
That's your favorite record of the year, huh?
Well, because I really didn't listen to very many.
Okay,
I'm
but you feel
fan.
like they did a hell of a job.
They did a hell of a job. They haven't put anything out in a while. And it's good. I'm glad they're back.
Yeah, and we talked about when the release came out.
We did.
And, you know, I'm glad they're back. I'm glad they're still making music, and we've talked about, it's kind of the core two guys, you know. And I don't even think they live in the same city anymore.
No, because Steve moved to Nashville.
But that's really impressive that they would still be able to create music, you know, and the commitment to it, you know, to be able for those guys to get together and record. I mean, you know, schedules and work and yeah, but they made it happen and they made a great record. So that is your record of the year, the new Punchline. What's it called? Thrilled. And you were thrilled that they released it and highly recommend it. I mean, is this something that you think all our listeners need to hear?
If they're if they're listening to this podcast, definitely.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, they'll be it.
All right, my favorite record of the year is one that I've talked about so many times on the podcast, so I won't excessively talk about it today. But The Mountain Goats, Beat the Champ, concept record about the world of indie professional wrestling, the stories, the characters, the Mountain Goats, the lead guy John, his ability to tell a story and his perspectives, and he's so lyrical in terms of how he describes situations and people. And it just, this record called to me. It kicked my ass. It came out at the beginning of the year, and I think it did not get a lot of love on year-end lists because a lot of times stuff that comes out at the beginning of the year doesn't. It kind of gets forgotten about, but this thing is a masterpiece if you like good songwriting, if you like singer-songwriters, if you like pop rock. The Legend of Chavo Guerrero, to me, was the best pop rock song of the year, plus it had the best name of any song. And the stories that he tells, from the death of Bruiser Brody, from real characters to imaginary characters. He's one of those writers that he's got one song about a wrestler in a battle royal, but it's also about the birth of a child. And I know that sounds insane, but he pulls it off. It's a little nuts. My favorite record of the year, hands down. Any other records you want to throw out in the pile? Like, you just came out with Punchline, Thrilled, Mountain Goats. They received the Freshies Award for the two best records of the year. You get the first official Freshie goes to Punchline and the Mountain Goats. And I have a bunch of other records that I like, but just ones that I can throw in the mix. Anybody else you want to throw out, Dan, that you liked?
I saw in your honorable mentions, I'll include it as well, the Motion City soundtrack.
Yeah, you take that one because I think you listened to that more than I did.
Probably. It's good, but I mean,
is it their best? It's not their best record, right?
Even if it kills me, for me, is my favorite Motion City.
Hell yeah,
it's such a good record.
I'd be hard pressed for anybody to say that they made a better record than that. And I like all their records, but that record is something else.
Kicked my ass.
Yeah, as a masterpiece. So the new Motion City soundtrack.
It's good. It's a good record.
Cool. Another one that really kicked my ass, a band that I've loved and talked about a lot on this podcast, the Front Bottoms, Back on Top. The new Front Bottoms. Do you get a chance to listen to that?
Not really.
Okay, cool. I think you would really like it. I know I've told you that several times, but I think it's really up your alley. They got a song on there called Summer Shandy that's just a summer anthem. It's got one of those sing-along. It's a bridge, but the bridge is like one of my favorite bridges I've heard in a long time. I just want to sing out loud when I hear it. There also is a beautiful ballad on there called Cough It Out. That's where I'd start. There's a song in there called Cough It Out that's just incredible. I don't think it's as good as their last full-length Talon of a Hawk. I think that record is a goddamn masterpiece, like one of the best records of the decade, but it's still really good, and it's just different. It's refreshing to hear lyrics and songs that just don't sound like the same old shit, like all this indie rock crap that's out there. It's just, I need something different, man. I'm over it. I'm over that world of Coldplay, whatever the fuck you want to call it. So that was one of my other favorite records. I'm gonna throw a couple others out that I really liked. Lil Dicky. Have you heard Lil Dicky?
This better not be a joke about me.
No. Have you heard him yet?
No, I haven't.
Check this out. I was only turned on to this guy.
You were turned on by Lil Dicky?
I was turned on to Lil Dicky literally about a month ago, and I had some friends say, dude, have you heard this? Check this out. He's a rapper who is from outside of Philly, lives out in Cali now. Here's the catch, though. He's basically a Weird Al. He's a comedian. It's comedy rap, right? But it's done in the modern sound of rap. Honestly, that type of rap that I don't like, with auto-tuning and really slow
Sounds
beats.
like hell.
Sounds like hell. That's how he does it, but the lyrics are hysterical.
Really?
I really recommend somebody to check this out. There's 2 songs on there that really stand out, and they have great videos. It's almost better to watch the videos because I think you get the jokes more. One is called Save Dat Money, and it's all about being a rapper, not spending money but saving it. Like he like shouts out to his cousin who he stole his Netflix password. It's that good, dude. And he shoots the video, and he tried to shoot the video for nothing. He went to all these people and asked them like, hey, I need a mansion for my rap video. Can I shoot at your mansion? And eventually one person let him in for 15 minutes to shoot. He went to a famous rapper's video shoot and said, could I just stand in the background and steal some footage? And he shot a whole video, saved that money.
Wow.
I think you'd really like it. Jewish guy, so there's a lot of Jewish jokes in there. Like on the record, like he talks to his mom and dad, and they're like stereotypical East Coast, like, what are you doing out there?
Well, that puts a whole new spin on Save Dad Money.
Yeah, totally. And then there's also a song on there that you, I think, are going to love. It's called Let Me Freak. And it's all about him trying to get his girlfriend to hook up with him, but they've been together so long that they're over it. And he does a whole verse about how I'm going to spoil it, but it's basically he's trying to convince her to hook up, but she's upset with some of her coworkers, so she needs help constructing an email, but he didn't listen to the story. So it's so good, dude. It's all, but he does it like if you didn't listen to the lyrics, you would think it's a bad top 40 like sex rap song, but so good. Little Dicky. And the name of the record is Professional Rapper. I really recommend checking out the videos for Let Me Freak and Save That Money. I really enjoyed it. It was just neat to see somebody take modern rap and make it funny, because you're like, you can't do funny with this. And he did.
He did.
It's a really funny record.
Huh.
A couple other honorable mentions that I really enjoyed. Tom Paxton, legendary 60s Greenwich Village folk singer, whose character was kind of loosely in the Inside Llewellyn Davis movie. Did you see that?
Inside what?
I don't know how to say that fucking name.
Llewellyn Davis?
Yeah.
I have not seen that one.
I was kind of disappointed with it.
Really?
It took me a long time to see it, and I held off because, I'm a real big folk music fan. I really, if there's any era of music that I really am knowledgeable on, it's that 60s New York City folk era. And they did a great job replicating it. I mean, spot on, but it's a real dark, kind of sad movie. Like if you just want to see a guy who's not getting any breaks and does not get any breaks it's just rough. So it kind of bummed me out. But very well done. Very well done. But there's a character in there based on Tom Paxton, who just stopped touring this year. It is his last tour ever. He's a very old guy. I mean, he's the old guard. When he goes, that era of Greenwich Village 60s folk is kind of almost done. He's one of the last guys, but he put out a record this year called Redemption Road, and it's really good. Oh, yeah. It's almost, you hate to say swan song to someone who's living, but you kind of get the idea this may be the guy's last record. It's simple, it's folky. Most people would think it's probably really lame, but I loved it. Also Public Enemy, again, Chuck D, one of my all-time favorite rappers, one of the arguably the most famous freshman fan. He knew Public Enemy. If Man Plans, God Laughs, incredible record. Not their best record, but still really solid release. And there's a new Joe Eli record, who is a Texas 70s singer-songwriter. 70s, 80s, 90s, but really, really solid new Joe Eli record. So those for me were my faves. Mountain Goats, Front Bottoms, Little Dicky, Motion City Soundtrack, Tom Paxton, Joe Eli, Public Enemy, and then Punchline which you brought to the table.
And while you're talking, I did think of another record that not my favorite record, but there's a song on it that just kicks my ass, and it's New Found Glory's Resurrection Ascension, which is a re-release of the record that came out last year, but they change a bunch of stuff on it. They have guest vocalists. So the big song for me, which I'm fucking blanking on the title of right now.
You're talking about the new Now Found Glory record.
New Found Glory, but they did it. They re-released the record, and the main song that's been kicking my ass on it is done. There's like 20 vocalists that sing it on it, and they just cycle them through. Like everybody gets a different line from a verse and a chorus, and the harmonies are amazing. It's badass.
Okay.
I love that song anyway.
You don't know the name of the song.
I'll find it real quick.
I'm not going to lie to you. I was fanatical about not the last New Found Glory record, but the one before that, which was Radio Surgery. I thought it was an incredible pop punk record. I thought it was actually very overlooked. Like I thought it was arguably their best record ever. I wasn't totally in love with the new one. I didn't think it was bad by any means, but I was so in love with Radio Surgery that I didn't necessarily love the newest one. But I think I didn't like it as much because I just love the old one, if that makes sense.
Totally.
Well, so did you find the song that you were in love with?
I'm pulling it up right now if I can pull it through.
But this is also, let's for a little note to listeners, this is the first record without Steve.
Yeah, that's true.
Steve was thrown out of the band or left the band under very crazy circumstances,
of child porn.
conversations that he was having with very muddy, if I remember correctly.
Murky waters.
Ready for this? I don't know what happened. I don't know what the
know.
outcome of that was. I looked it up online. There was a ton of information when he was charged with it, but there was no further follow-up information about a court hearing or anything like that. So I hopefully the guy was not guilty. Because we knew him.
Yeah, we knew the guy.
And we wrote a song with him,
yep.
which is weird. But for if you're familiar with the freshman catalog, we wrote the song "Don't Fall Asleep Tonight" with Steve from New Found Glory.
Yep.
Obviously, prior to any of this weird stuff, so that was really heavy when that came out. Not anyone that we were close with. I wasn't even really in contact with him anymore. But anytime
Aaron was not close with him, but Aaron I think was the closest.
Aaron was cool with him, and we went to his house. We wrote a song with the guy. You know, this always kind of meant something that like that was a guy in the band that took the time to work with us. So it was tough hearing that. So I really hope that it came out that wasn't as intense or as bad or what it was. I mean, hopefully he was found not guilty, but again, I'm not going to get into the politics of that. But anyway, they booted him out of the band, made a new record, wrote a real negative song about the guy, I may add, on that record. I think it's called "The Worst Person in the World," and it's about him, which is heavy.
That's fierce.
But you're saying they did a re-release and you love the tune on it. What was that tune?
"Ready and Willing" is the song, and on Resurrection Ascension, which is the re-release of the record, it's called "Ready and Willing 2."
Okay.
And it's just classic New Found Glory, but then they have all these other vocalists sing on it.
Listen to that.
It's fucking great.
I'm gonna check that out.
I love it.
Awesome. Now, we have some listeners that have chimed in.
We do.
I say we go through each category since we're on music right now and see what some of our friends suggested that they liked, all that kind of stuff. So, do you have any you want to pull up, Dan?
Yeah, most of what I got back was from our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/FreshTalkPodcast. And you want to go through some of those?
Well, yeah, let's focus on the music picks, and then we'll go back. We'll have to be doing a lot of jumping around. You know?
Okay, yeah, it may sound a little disjointed, but we will get through the music. So Sarah Sterner, good friend from Sacramento.
Hey, Sarah. I haven't seen Sarah. It's been way too long since I've seen her. Yeah,
very long time. Her favorite thing that happened in music this year was that Tom DeLonge left Blink-182.
Well, that was her favorite thing. And was replaced by Matt Skiba.
Replaced by Matt Skiba, which is awesome. I didn't get to, I didn't get to see them in LA when they came through. It would have been fantastic.
Are they gonna make a record with Skiba in the band?
I don't know.
I'd like to hear what that sounds like.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's hard to hear Blink without Tom DeLonge. Well, yeah, that and the Matches reunion shows that happened like 3 days ago.
And our good friend Amber Stevens,
she's a Matches freak.
She went there.
I know. I saw.
Flew up there. You ready for this? This is Whack Pack. Went to both shows.
I mean, you got to. You have to.
Do you?
If you're
it's the
Whack
same
Pack,
fucking show, right?
Yeah. She obviously loves the Matches.
She's whack. I mean, that's hardcore. But so her two favorite things in music weren't necessarily records, but Matt Skiba joining Blink and then the Matches reunions.
That's what she said.
I back her on both of those. Both of those things.
I'm totally into that.
Those are both great things for music. Cool. Anybody else that you want to bring up, Dan?
For the music, let's see. Joe FX's album of the year for him is the debut album by a band from Leeds, UK called the Brawlers.
I don't know the Brawlers.
I haven't heard of them either, Joe.
I'll have to check that out.
We will give them a look. Let's see. Danny Taylor got a lot of recommendations. His top 5 records are Mutoid Man, Bleeder, Millencolin, True Brew, Clutch, Psychic Warfare, Chelsea Wolf, Abyss, and Kendrick Lamar, To Pimp a Butterfly.
Well, hey, I'm gonna say something about this Danny Taylor character. That is an open-minded music fan right now. That is an open-minded music fan. I mean, again, Mutoid Man, Millencolin, Clutch, Chelsea Wolf,
all over the place.
Kendrick Lamar. That's impressive, man.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm again, I don't know if I agree with all of that, to be honest with you. I think that Kendrick Lamar's thing is way played out over the top, but I respect anybody that's listening to that different type of music. Yeah. Okay, nice. Interesting, Danny. Interesting. And I'm going to be honest with you, Dan. You're probably with me on this. I don't know Chelsea Wolf.
Nope.
I don't even know who that is.
I don't listen to Clutch either.
Does that? Yeah. Well, I know who Clutch is. I don't listen to him. And honestly, Danny, I can't imagine that Clutch made one of the best records of the year. But hey,
they did for him.
Good for you.
Yeah, man. Awesome.
Okay. So any other music picks?
Not from the Facebook feed. I don't know what you got on yours.
Yeah, let's check on some Twitter music picks. Some of the people that reached out on Twitter. There's just some interesting ones. Very cool. Here we go. We have. Let this all type up here because we just asked a little bit ago, so they're kind of coming in while we're talking, right? Okay, check this out. somebody has already posted a screenshot of you and I talking.
Oh yeah.
I guess that's what we get for doing this early. All right. Okay.
That's the point.
Here we go. Our very good friend from the Netherlands, Miss Thelussen, Miss Thelussen. I always say her last name wrong.
I don't know.
Okay, got you. So,
sorry, Marlika.
Yeah, there you go. Her favorite. She's got some favorite albums, and she's got great taste. Good friend of ours with really, really amazing taste in music. Somebody that truly loves music. She said the new Muse, the new Motion City soundtrack. So she's on board with us on that. The new Front Bottoms on board with us for this, and gotta love this girl, the new Mountain Goats. So she is in our world. The only one we didn't touch on was Muse. It's the only one we didn't touch on.
You know, and I'm a big Muse fan. I love them a lot. I was bored with this record.
I heard a lot of people were disappointed by it.
It was a little boring.
Cool, nice picks, man. Motion City soundtrack, Front Bottoms, Mountain Goats, love it. Okay, moving on. Oh, geez, Kayla Lee. One of our very closest friends over in the UK, and a hardcore wrestling maniac, which you have to respect. Her favorite records were the new Patent Pending, which I haven't heard. I'm sorry, because I like those guys. The new Motion City soundtrack on board with us. Knuckle Puck, pop punk band out of Chicago these days that a lot of people like. The new Neck Deep, and of course the Mountain Goats Beat the Champ. I gotta love that, you know, and I like to think that we turned her on to that. I'm gonna take full credit for that.
Whether or not it's deserved, I'm taking it anyway.
Hey, Chaz at Smog Monster, again, one of our very close friends. This is interesting. Skinny Lister, Down on Deptford is the name of the record, I believe. But check this out, what she says about them. She says, check it out. Great sound and a dude that crowd surfs while playing a double bass at the live shows.
Jesus, that sounds really hard.
That's cool.
For the people that are holding him up.
Yeah, what if that double bass clocks somebody, you know?
Yeah, probably would.
Cool. Okay, Skinny Lister. I like that. That's somebody new. Also, Dane Wright at Mr. Dane Wright. Good dude. Check this out. His favorite albums were The Wonder Years, which I wasn't in love with the new Wonder Years, Dane. I like The Wonder Years a lot, but the record didn't knock me out. However, he did mention one that I missed is Alison Weiss. You familiar with Alison Weiss?
I'm not.
She guests on that Cough It Out song that I love from the Front Bottoms, but she is a really phenomenal singer-songwriter, but she has a real nice pop touch to it, which is kind of like power pop touch, if you will. And her debut was great, and apparently he's saying the new record's great as well. So that's a good pick. Alison Weiss, thank you. Cool. So those are some picks from the listeners. Now we have a couple special guests picks that I am gonna throw out here. Here we go. You ready? One of our most common guests and outspoken guests, and in some cases hated guests, Mr. Zeke Berkeley, who is a great solo musician. If you haven't heard his own stuff, he said that his favorite records are Tame Impala. Tame Impala.
Yeah.
And the record of the name is Currents.
Yeah, he mentioned that to me. I hung out with him last week. We jammed a little bit. And he was like freaking out about this record.
Okay.
He was like, this record's amazing. You have to hear it. And I totally did him a disservice by not listening to it. I will get to it, Zeke. I promise.
Okay. Next record. And this is, Zeke's deep. The artist I don't know. He mentions an artist called Courtney Barnett. And the name of the record is Sometimes I Sit and Think, and Sometimes I Just Sit. I kind of like that title.
Yeah.
Courtney Barnett. Sometimes I sit and think, and sometimes I just sit. And then lastly, New Order, which is not a name you hear a lot. No. New Order, and the name of the record is Plastic. Those were Zeke's top records of the year. And he always gives us something different, which you gotta love, right? Okay. Here's one. Oh, this is exciting. Eggy Sellers, Ed Sellers, who is our agent over in the United Kingdom, and one of our I would say staunchest supporters.
Definitely, he got us over there.
Yeah,
many times.
Yeah, it all starts with Eggy, who is, I heard, expecting child.
I think I did see that on the old face.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, congrats, Ed.
Yeah, congrats, Ed. Okay, here we go. His favorite records of the year, and this is somebody who I really trust. Oh man, you gotta love it. Front Bottoms, Back on Top.
Man, they're getting a lot of love.
A lot of love today. The Fresh Talk listeners love the Front Bottom. Okay, this is a really good record. I didn't get to mention, just heard it recently. John C., who is a longtime hardcore singer, drummer,
local legend,
owner of Salzer's Records.
Basically.
Yeah, he recommended this band to me, and I love them. And Ed just mentioned them. They're called Beach Slang. Heard that name?
I have not heard of them.
Name of the record is The Things We Do to Find People Who Feel Like Us. Very deep title, but dang, good record, man. Kind of sounds like a Glassjaw, Husker Du, like poppy, but still kind of punky. Beach Slang. That's something I would recommend too. And then here's one. I don't know this band. I hope this isn't an abbreviation. Fiddler, and the name of the record is Two. T-O-O. Do you know a Fiddler?
I don't. Can't say I do.
Two. Okay, cool. Well, those are our picks from Ed. Gotta love Ed. And okay, here is one that you gotta love. Adam McDonough.
Oh yeah,
former guest, singer-songwriter out of Nashville. Great guy. Very, very close friend of mine. Goes way back. Here's where his favorite records of the year, and he's more of a singer-songwriter guy. So I think we're getting kind of a broad spectrum of great records this year. Traveler by an artist called Chris Stapleton. I don't know who that is.
Not a clue.
Okay. And then you ready for this? Something More Than Free by Jason Isbell.
Oh, Jason Isbell.
I know the name.
Yeah.
Now, these are country singer-songwriters. Is that right? To your knowledge?
I don't know about the first one. Jason Isbell isn't really country. He was in Drive by Truckers.
Oh, okay.
Drive by Truckers guy. He had a really interesting interview on Marin, I don't know, a year or so ago.
Totally.
And that's why I learned about him, because his record was out then, and it was, I believe, if I'm remembering this correctly, he was, clean and sober now, and like writing good records again about after all this stuff. And the record was really interesting. Kai was Kai's pick when Kai was still hosting this show as well.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Great.
Yeah.
So Kai and Adam are on the same wavelength there.
Yeah.
And he also sends in his dad's favorite record. Now, his dad is literally, if I had a backup dad, God forbid anything ever happens to my father, he's a guy that I would consider my father. He's been around forever. I could tell some great stories about him. Adam McDonough's dad, Rick McDonough, who is also in Nashville. And his favorite record, ready for this, was the Don Henley solo record, Cass County. That worries me a lot. I'm not a big Don Henley fan. I find him very overrated.
It doesn't make sense, though. That sounds like a dad record.
But it's, doesn't it ever? Like, if there was ever like, man, what do I get my dad and mom for Christmas? And I want to get them music. Well, get my mom Adele, get my dad the new Don Henley.
Yeah, totally.
That was Mr. McDonough's pick. And another one hot off the presses that's just coming in. A lot of people must be listening to this live, dude. I'm getting texts. Brendan Brown of Wheatus, one of my favorite songwriters, literally. He defies the rules.
Always.
The ultimate rebel is Brendan Brown from Wheatus. And he just decides to give some of his favorite records ever. He refuses to give picks for this year.
These do not fit into this year, and it doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, let's list them anyway. Brendan Brown says records that people should listen to all time. Secret Machines, Now Here Is Nowhere, Ani DeFranco, Dilate, Public Enemy, Fear of a Black Planet. I'll give him that. Van Halen, 5150.
A little dated.
5150. And Sting, The Soul Cages.
That's a great record, though.
I'm not sure if he's saying those are his favorite records of all time, or those are just ones he likes. You can never tell with that.
Brendan, we're confused.
I got to admit, if they're your top 5 records of all time, I'm a little worried. But they're solid records.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Those are solid records, but like, I don't know, man. You know what I mean? Like all time, because he's a Rush nut.
He's absolutely a Rush nut.
So I'm surprised that they may not be his. Maybe he didn't get it. We're getting a live tweet from Graham that says, "Turn the comment section on, you cowards."
What comment section?
So somebody must be watching live and wants to attack.
Graham, where are you watching?
Yeah. Okay. Okay, moving on here. Okay, good. So those are some music picks. We got a bunch of others, but we need to move on to our other segments. This is going to be a super duper long podcast. So Dan, we've covered music. We have some listener responses. We have our freshies. We gave them out. You gave it to Punchline.
Thank you, listeners, for responding.
Yeah, thank you very much. You gave it to Punchline. I gave it to the Mountain Goats, and then we had a bunch of other great records to check out. And some dude thinks Clutch made the best record of the year. Okay. Moving on. Let's get into movies. Holy shit, do I think it was a good year for movies, but only the end of the year.
Yes.
Correct. The beginning of the year was empty. I didn't go to the movie theater at all, but all hell seemed to break loose at the end of the year. So whenever you can pull that Doc up, Dan, I would appreciate it so we can see what we're looking at. Oh, there we go. There we go.
So trying to appease the gram.
So Dan, hit us off with do you have a favorite movie of the year? Do you have a freshie, or there's a bunch in contention?
I mean, it's got to be Star Wars.
Oh,
I mean, you know, there's some good movies that came out this year, but you know, Star Wars kind of trumps everything because of Star Wars, and it didn't suck like the last three did.
Okay.
And it was, you know, it was really, really good. We're not going to have a Star Wars episode now.
We will, though.
People probably still haven't seen it. Maybe get
Kai's coming on, and we're going to do
we're going to do a spoiler-rich episode.
We're going to go for it. We're going to be talking some wars, baby.
Yeah.
But that's your freshie. So that's your favorite film of the year, the Star Wars.
Yeah, I think so.
Hey, it's definitely one of my
most recent. Well, it's not the most recent movie I've seen, but it was one of the highlights of the year for me. That took all year to get here. So
definitely one of my favorite movies of the year. Totally back it. One of the best movies of the year. My freshie for Best Picture goes to.
I know where this is going.
The Hateful Eight. The new Tarantino movie. I was lucky enough to see one of these 70mm road shows. I've already told you all about it. We'll talk more about that because we're going to do a whole Tarantino episode coming up very soon in the next couple weeks, I believe. So we'll talk more. The movie is not released worldwide until the 31st. So I don't want to get into anything that has to do with the movie. Beyond, I loved it. It was a Western. And I'm a huge Western fan. It was graphic. If it was violent, the music was incredible. The cinematography was incredible. The 70mm showing was incredible. It was an epic murder mystery. If you can stomach raunchy dialogue and death and gore, this movie is a stone cold masterpiece.
Oh, wow.
My favorite film of the year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's a murder mystery too. That's awesome.
Yeah. That is my freshie for Best Picture. But let's keep going because there's a lot of other great movies. The freshies have gone to Star Wars, Force Awakens, and The Hateful Eight. But I got some other stuff I love. Dan, what do you got?
I really, really liked The Martian. The Martian was so good.
Many people did.
It was such a fantastic
Many people
film.
did.
You know, and we talked about it a little bit when it came out, and I saw it then. It was basically like a love letter to NASA. Slightly in the future. Brilliant movie. I mean, the book was fantastic. It was really well narrated.
It's like stoked to be poked.
Yeah.
The NASA years.
The NASA years. Great film. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Lots of science, lots of Matt Damon. Lots of Matt Damon.
Yeah, I'm not a big science guy, so to say lots of science isn't a selling point. And that's why I kind of was turned off because I felt like they gave me the plot. And then I literally had one guy tell me, if you can believe this, a friend of my brother's who's a movie type guy, story for another time. He goes, you know what it made you do? It just made you really fall in love with space and science. And I was just like, well, but I don't know about that.
It's not like they're showing you chemical equations like, well, we got to, reduce the units and the stoichiometry or this. It's like it's very accessible and it's funny. They did a great job of preserving the humor that's in the book and putting it in the movie. It's fun.
I know you've heard the story, but do you remember that? You don't remember because you weren't there, but I got kicked out of high school science class because there was these plastic things that you could make molecules. And did you have those?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like they connect and plasma be huge, and the bigger the molecule, and you would build them, and here's the little pieces. And science never really computed for me very well, nor math. So I had long hair and listened to Kurt Cobain, thought I was a rebel. Was not, but thought I was. And at any rate, I made a huge thing out of my molecules. I mean, like full class, 45 minutes. And I went to my teacher at the time and like, I found it. I've got it. And she came running over because nobody had built the molecule yet. She's like, let's see it. And I was like, Godzilla. And I had made a Godzilla out of the plastic molecules. And she said, that's enough. And
that's really funny.
Yeah. Anyway, it's time for different. So you're going to throw out The Martian, which is great. I am going to follow up with the movie since you're probably not really a fan of this film. A movie that I absolutely loved was Creed. Rocky is my favorite film franchise ever. The first Rocky is my favorite movie ever. They made another Rocky. It was going to be a joke. Everybody was mocking it. Oh my God, Sly is going to be Rocky again. However, they called it
a joke.
They called it Creed. And they took the series in a new direction with a new lead character, but Stallone was a supporting actor. Stallone was incredible. Granted, I am a Stone apologist, a Sylvester Stallone apologist. He was great in it. I think he should get Best Supporting Actor. I truly believe that. The film was touching, moving, but it still had all the great elements of a Rocky movie. Amazing movie, totally went beyond expectations, and I would recommend it as a feel-good movie that moves the series to another place. That was one of my favorites of the year. What you got next?
Creed. Next up, I have Inside Out.
I didn't see it yet.
Pixar film.
Mixed reviews on that.
A
lot of people adored it.
It was great. It was perfect. It was a perfect Pixar film for me. It was funny. It was lighthearted. Sometimes it got serious, like they always do. There's a very predictable story arc with these type of movies, but I thought it was really interesting and smart that they tackled sort of depression a little bit. Like, it's a kids movie, but not a kids movie. It's a Pixar film, and obviously Lewis Black is in it. He's wonderful in everything he does.
Oh, is Lewis Black in it? Good for him, because he's been a little quiet lately, and I love Lewis Black.
Oh, me too. And he's perfect. And it just a great film. Okay, really, really fun film, and I really enjoyed it. Recommend it.
I love that. Great. Okay, I'll move on with another one. Was the list up there? There we go. Okay. Oh man. This is a documentary. This is a documentary. But it was out this year. Going Clear, the documentary about Scientology that aired on HBO. Holy shit.
It was a monster.
A masterpiece. Best documentary of the year, in my humble opinion. Gripping, informative, interesting, scary, in depth. I watched that multiple times because it was on a lot, and every time it was on, I couldn't stop watching it. The story is fascinating. It's like science fiction meets religion meets cults meets fame. I mean, it is an amazing story. If you have not seen that, I urge anyone listening to this to see Going Clear, the Scientology documentary. I mean, the fact that the Scientologists went so nuts to try to stop this at every single angle lets you know there's something to it.
Yeah.
It was a masterpiece. Loved it.
It was really hard. I loved it. It was great. It was really hard for me to love it as much as I think I could have, for reasons that
because you're a Scientologist.
Because I'm a Scientologist.
That's funny, because if you know Dan, there's no one further. Like, whatever a Scientologist is, Dan is completely on the other spectrum.
I'm here to talk about our Lord and Savior Xenu.
Exactly. It's like you take Scientology, cut out the theology, Dan's science. That's just how it works.
Science is not my religion.
I've created this new thing. It's called science. Follow me.
I do not do science, unfortunately. I just like it. All right. That was a fabulous movie.
Cool.
My next pick is Ex Machina.
Oh,
which came out a little earlier in the year.
I haven't seen it.
Still haven't seen that either.
God, people have said nice things about it, though.
It's such an
people love it.
It's such an interesting film, and the acting is brilliant. They're so good, and there's like 4 characters in the whole film.
Okay,
it's awesome, and it raises some really interesting, like, not psychological, really interesting questions about artificial intelligence, where we place them in society.
Is it better than the film Artificial Intelligence?
What isn't? Actually, that film is very good too. I know AI got a lot of mixed reviews. Kubrick's last movie, I enjoyed it, and I'm ready to watch it again. I'm not
making this up. There was a review in a big newspaper, and literally it said, "I don't like it." And that was the end of the review. Isn't that awesome?
More like shit sandwich. That's it.
You can't print that. You can't print that. Little Spinal Tap, little on the inside.
Spinal Tap reference. So it was a great film.
So good. Cool. Okay. I will move on with another one that I loved. I talked Hateful Eight. We both talked Star Wars. I talked Creed. I talked Scientology. Those are my favorites. Those I really went through my favorites. However, how about some that you've seen, Dan? Give us a couple others that you've seen, because I've got a couple that I almost know I'm gonna like. I just haven't seen them yet, and I do want to mention them.
I didn't. It came out so long ago, I kind of forgot that it was this year until I looked in my list. Avengers: Age of Ultron was a really fun I mean, it's Avengers. There's only so much of it you can take. They have to take it up to the next level, but they do it really well every time.
You know what's funny about that? I just saw a list of the best films of the year, and somebody put that on there, and they said everyone's going to forget about this because it was early and it was a cartoon movie, but this was a damn good movie.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
It's a good one.
So I really enjoyed that. I did see Bridge of Spies.
You did?
I did.
I've heard great things.
Great movie. Not my favorite.
Okay.
It was really well acted. Obviously, Tom Hanks, the other guy, the spy guy.
It's just not called to see it. As weird as it sounds,
it's schmaltzy. It's a cool time period. It's a cool story, brilliantly done. Never did I ever think anything bad was going to happen. There was no sense of imminent danger, of foreboding, of tension. Even you're just like, well, this is all going to wrap up.
You need tension in a flick like that.
And it was kind of there, but it was a little sappy. And it was kind of interesting because when I went and saw it with my buddy Ted, and we were talking about, there's a new Coen Brothers movie coming out, and the credits roll, and it was like written by Joel and Ethan Coen and one other guy. I was like, well, I guess we just saw a Coen Brothers movie.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's worth a watch, right? Rent it. Wait for it to come out on video.
Sounds good. And can I throw you a couple that I haven't seen?
Yeah,
Maybe you've seen some of them.
I have not seen any of these.
Okay. I have not seen Spotlight about the Catholic abuse scandal and the reporters that worked to did it. The reviews are off the hook, though.
Sounds
I
really
want to see it. Phoenix. I heard really good things about a film called Phoenix. I'm so sorry, and this is pathetic. I didn't see Mad Max. And there are people that are saying that's the #1 film of the year, like the best sci-fi action film made in decades.
I didn't see it either.
I'm surprised you didn't see it.
I just never got to it. And I looked, today when I was doing some research, I was looking at Rotten Tomatoes. It's the #1 movie on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's on. Everybody loved
97%.
it. Everybody loved it. They said it's a visual masterpiece. And Tom Hardy, God, Tom Hardy. Oh man, can that guy freaking can he just act or what? I mean, he's like the brand. I think he's going to be like the guy for the next 20 years that is that next level.
Surprised Christopher Nolan let him do a movie that he didn't direct, but
Oh, so good, so good. So we apologize, and also a movie I'm very interested in seeing, Trumbo.
Yeah,
which stars Bryan Cranston, and it's the story of Dalton Trumbo, who actually wrote, I think, the best anti-war book ever written, Johnny Got His Gun, which is known for the Metallica video 1 and all that kind of stuff. But hell of a writer, and he was during the blacklist in Hollywood when he was accused of being a communist, and he went under an assumed name and made some movies, and it's his story, and Cranston's supposedly amazing in it.
Cranston's fabulous.
So those are the ones that I've seen. Any other ones you want to throw out before we get to the listeners?
Yeah, I also didn't remember that this came out this year, but it made total sense doing my research. What We Do in the Shadows, which was a mockumentary about vampires.
I heard about that.
With
you saw that?
I didn't see it. It was one of the guys.
Okay, you heard about it. Okay.
From my brain is just not working today. It's almost like I've been on vacation for 2 weeks.
Maybe it's the fact you've been playing all these video games.
That's part of it. It looks really funny. I've heard from my coworkers that it's hilarious, and I'm gonna try and see it.
Okay. Cool.
We do in the shadows. Enjoy.
Cool. Meanwhile, hot off the press is Danny Taylor, who must be watching live, because if you are listening to this or watching this, normally we record it late at night, so we don't get a lot of live viewers. But because of Dan's work schedule, we're able to do it earlier this week, and apparently there are people still up able to watch it.
We have the record number of live viewers, 7.
Yes, 7 people. So one of these people is Danny Taylor, who recommended Clutch, and he says he stands by his Clutch pick.
We're not knocking your Clutch pick.
We're not knocking Clutch. It's just the best record of the year, dog. Come on, man. What's next? Breaking Benjamin? Like, let's get with it. Hey, little low. Okay, cool. Moving on. All right, let's talk about some other people and some films. Some of our listener picks as we pull them up. Dan, got anybody for us while I'm looking on?
Our friend Sarah from the original music session. Her favorite movies were the 2 Hunger Games movies, which
that's interesting.
I guess there were 2.
2 guys, 1 couch sends their regards.
Who?
Hey, we have viewers. I'm going to need that hat. Normally, it doesn't matter. I get a haircut tomorrow.
Send our regards back.
Right.
2 guys, 1 couch.
Fucking Graham.
2 guys stole our podcast. That's what that should be called. Okay, moving.
How's that one episode, Graham?
Moving on, Dan. More movies. The Hunger Games. Did you see those? Did you like them?
I did. I saw. Well, I didn't see the third one, which was this third book split into 2 movies, until we watched it before I went and saw the 4th one, which was the second half. They fucking hobbited the shit out of it. I liked it. I liked the last one. It was my favorite one.
So, but theirs aren't, I mean, I've had people tell me that they're a lot better than you would think. I thought they were like kind of like a teen female Harry Potter, but I heard they're better than that.
I mean, when you break it down to its basis level, yes, that's what they are. But they're good. The books were good too. I slammed through them in like a week.
No kidding. Some of those ones, the ones that what do you call it? The Divergence and Insurgents. Those
are not so good.
I caught a little bit of one of those on like HBO one night. Fucking brutal, dude. Wasn't feeling it. So maybe that put a bad taste in my mouth because it was just everywhere, you know. But you like the Hunger Games.
Games. And so like Divergent was like a similar dystopian teenager future, and my mom read those too, and she was like, these weren't really that.
It's a whole world of dystopian teenage, like those fucking teens, man.
Maze
when they get their hands on something like it's the vampire,
it's sparkly vampires.
Yeah, 50 Shades of 17 or something. Who else you got? Any other movie picks from any listeners?
Let's see. Let me see here. Well, Graham from 2 Guys, 1 Couch fame. Apparently, only one thing happened. 2 things happened this year. One thing happened this year in movies, and it was Star Wars.
Star Wars. He says his Star Wars. Star Wars. Yes, it was amazing.
Only one movie. It was fabulous. I'm not gonna, I did enjoy it. I can't wait to go see it again.
And we will have Kyle on to discuss in depth Star Wars. Okay, cool. Moving on. Let's see if we got anybody on this side of the world. In terms of movies, okay. Oh, hey, our buddy Fuzz. Such a good dude, Fuzz. He did not understand the request, so his favorite things of the year were our Legend of Zelda episode and the Star Wars episode. So I think he must have thought, what was your favorite podcast? Which is sort of a ridiculous thing to ask anybody, but that's awesome. I can't believe somebody has a favorite podcast of ours.
Thanks, Fuzz.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I found the Legend of Zelda episode have a lot of tension, if I remember correctly. Okay. I'm not seeing a lot of movies here on these picks. Okay, cool. Well, should we move on to our next topic?
Let's carry on.
Cool. So the freshies, our official freshies, are Star Wars and the Hateful Eight, and then some other films that you and I love to go over them really quick. You and I were both, or one way or another, into Creed.
Don't want me in that category.
Going Clear, the Scientology documentary, The Martian, Inside Out. Is it Ex Machina?
Did you say Ex Vagina?
No.
Ex Machina.
Ex Machina.
Philosophical film.
And then Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Good film.
And we're already going to say that Spotlight, Phoenix, Mad Max, and Trumbo were great. And What Do We Do in the Shadows?
Yes, they're probably great.
Okay.
We'll let you know when we see them.
Dude, the sequel to What We Do in the Shadows has to be What We Did in the Shadows. Too easy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So those are our films. Those are our films that we recommend this year that we really enjoyed. Let's get into TV.
Yep.
We talk a lot of TV on this show.
We do.
A lot more than I think we ever expected.
Yeah.
Good year for TV or bad year?
I think it was a great year for TV, I think.
Okay, cool. Well, start us out. And I think I know what your number one show is going to be. And you are not alone because, God, did this everybody's talking about.
I mean, it's first on our list.
Okay, what do you got?
And it's the reason that I didn't like the Scientology documentary as much as I think I should have, because I was watching it on the heels of watching The Jinx.
Yes!
Which was the best goddamn show this entire year.
The Jinx may be the best show of all time.
It could be.
Best documentary series of
down,
all time.
Hands down.
It was, we talked about it extensively on this podcast. If you want to talk Jinx, go back to our old episodes, but it's still the feeling I got in that last episode. I have never been so shocked in all my life of watching TV.
And it's a short episode. So you're watching these. These are like 2-hour episodes.
Masterpiece.
Series, and this last episode is like 45 minutes. You're like, what the
I still watch it all the time. The other night, I decided I'm going to jump back and watch this again, and I loved it. It's riveting. It's so well done. The story of Robert Durst, this murderer who got away with all this stuff, and then, of course, the documentary guy who's making it starts to unravel the case, and it's real. He actually, essentially, through a lot of different things, saw when they find the letter. It's incredible. I mean, literally, TV will never be the same after that. It was a stone cold fucking masterpiece, hands down. Freshie. I don't think there's any way to. I mean, the Hall of Fame Freshie.
Yeah, there's no other way to slice that.
I mean, remember when I came on that one time after I saw it and started freaking out? And I was so proud of myself because I'm always late to the party with that shit. And then literally about 3 weeks later, you couldn't go anywhere without anyone on earth saying, "Hey man, you see that Jinx show? Holy shit!" It was
everywhere,
and it was like the greatest campaign of all time, because by the time the last episode, the guy got fucking arrested the night before the finale. The show was so good that the guy had to go on the run. He's watching the show and he's like,
"Wait a minute!
Oh fuck!" I mean,
and he was there for the interviews.
It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh God,
show.
It's so good. If you haven't seen it, literally just stop what you're doing and go watch all 6 episodes of that. Next show, I'll throw it your way, Dan, because I know what you're going to say, because that's not the one I was thinking about. I was thinking about an actual fictional show, but what do you got?
You don't want to alternate?
I'll alternate. Okay, cool. Go. Justified. The finale last season was this year. I've talked about it a lot on this show. It's just a great show. It had an old West feel, but it was about a modern guy, Timothy Olyphant. He's an elephant. I don't know how to say his last name, but he's a great actor. He's the lead guy, Gary Cooper type guy. Fun show, just fun show. Great character actors on it.
He was the lead guy in Deadwood, right?
Yeah. Oh, yes, he was the lead guy in Deadwood. Yeah. Highly recommended. Justified wrapped up this year. It's like 5 seasons, a lot of fun. Definitely one to dig up if you just need something like not too intense, but you want some fun and some gunplay.
It's a little campy, right?
Yeah, campy, but it's still serious. But some crazy characters in the backwoods. It's neat. It's a neat slice of crime down south. Yeah.
And that gets one of your top picks, huh?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Very cool. Well, the next one that I really liked this year was Mr. Robot.
Well, that's the one I was mentioning. That's the one that everybody's talking about.
It's so good. It's It's weird. Like, it's not hands down over the top incredible good like the Jinx is, because nothing can be. But for what it was,
There's
it
a
was-
certain truth to the Jinx that makes it amazing.
Oh God, yeah, it was a documentary, but this is really actually very good. It's a well-produced show. It's well written. It's really smart, and it's accurate.
Okay.
If this stuff was going to happen, probably that's how it would happen. The guys did their homework, and one of the things that I always pick out in shows and movies is technology, because I'm into it. I love technology, and it's my job. So I would look at the screens that they're typing on, and it's like, that's obviously bullshit. This show made it correct.
Interesting. When you had first told us about this show and you talked about that, I was Owen and I went to see Hateful Eight a couple days ago, like I told you, and he got talking about Mr. Robot. I think he started watching it or whatever, and I told him what you said about that, and he found that really fascinating. He's like, "Yeah, dude." He's like, first off, he's like, "That's hilarious that Dan would pay that much attention," but he's like, "I buy it," because he was like, "There's a lot of it," and he was like, "It feels really well thought out."
It's authentic.
Mhm.
It's authentic,
And
it's
people
really
love
good.
the show.
It's a great show.
Yeah, I think I think it's the one I'm going to go for next in terms of
should.
a series, just
You should.
because it's rare when you find one that nobody dislikes. Like, you can't find anybody who's like, "Oh, that sucked." Like, people really like it. you know?
Yeah, and
It was
and
the breakout of the year, I think.
I think it was. It absolutely was breakout show of the summer for sure. And the guy that plays the lead dude is kind of like just this weird, almost like autistic kind of portrayal of this character, but it really works, and you kind of find out why later.
Okay.
Christian Slater's in it, so they got a big name behind it. It's good. It's a really fun show, and I'm ready. I'm excited for season 2.
Okay, great. I will throw out another one. It was a Netflix original that got a lot of attention. People really got into it. Narcos, which is a story of
People
Pablo
love that
Escobar. One of those ones you just couldn't stop watching it, episode after episode. It's all there. It was all released at once. This new format of Netflix, releasing TV shows. And it's just a good mobster stuff, but down over in Colombia, and it was just really well done, fun one, a really fun but true story, obviously with a lot of but it was told through the perspective of the U.S. agent that's chasing them.
And I'll tell you, that's why I never got past the first episode. I was kind of bored with the format of the show.
Oh, interesting.
It didn't. Interesting subject matter. This is a incredibly interesting series of events. This guy, this kingpin,
just didn't do it for you, huh? You didn't like how it was told.
I didn't like how the story was told. No.
See, the guy, the American guy who is like essentially the narrator, who you're following him, chase Pablo Escobar. He's pretty light, dude. He's probably like the weakest actor in the whole thing.
And he's narrating the whole freaking show.
But the guy who plays Pablo Escobar is so good that he keeps you going.
Yeah.
I liked it, and it gave you a lot of interesting stories. They branched it out in different ways a couple times, and you got a little history. I liked it. Not a masterpiece, not my favorite show of the year, but really enjoyed it.
A solid show.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. You got another one for us, Dan?
Yes, I do, and it's tough because it's not what you want it to be.
Okay.
But the show is Better Call Saul.
Great. Haven't seen it. Want to see it. Love that character on Breaking Bad.
Hell yeah.
Every time he was on, just loved him. I've heard good things about it, though.
It's good. It's worth a watch, especially if you're a Breaking Bad fan.
But you see how he becomes who he was. Is that correct? You see the journey?
Yeah, it's the backstory. It's the backstory of Saul Goodman. And it's interesting. And obviously, the acting is fabulous. Mike is in it. Mike from Breaking Bad is in it. And he was my favorite character in that whole show.
Loved him.
He was so good.
You really liked
him.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I love that guy. And it's great to be back in that universe. Like, it's not Breaking Bad level, but every time Saul would come on in Breaking Bad, you're like, yeah, he's so like, he just nails that character, and he continues to do it.
Oh, I think he helped some weak episodes.
Yeah,
I actually think there were episodes when he came on, it kind of like, it got you through it.
Bob Odenkirk was perfect in that role, and he absolutely killed it.
Okay.
You got anything else?
I'm good. I want to throw out a TV show that was a huge disappointment. We're not really knocking anything on this podcast. We're not going on stuff we hated. I have to say it. Everybody knows what it is. We talked about it extensively. Season 2 of True Detective was laugh out loud bad. And something with that budget and those actors and that writing and that platform with that much hype and excitement, it was stunning how bad it was. It probably wouldn't have been as bad if there wasn't so much excitement for it. But man, that just broke my heart. And then halfway through, it became comical to the point that I was reading reviews just to make sure I wasn't insane. And it was as bad as I thought. It was terrifyingly bad.
And what really,
and it's got the love of my life, Rachel McAdams, in it. So I'm hating on my lady.
And kind of filmed in the area. There's lots of local places to us, so it has a special meaning because it's like, I know that place. That's always cool.
Yeah.
But it was so bad, especially on the heels of the first one. I know I mentioned this in a prior podcast. I've been sort of bit by bit watching the first season again, and it blows it the fuck out of the water because it's so much better. And I didn't really realize how bad this show was until you sent me the article with the breakdown of what is actually happening in the show. And I was
That was pretty solid. That
wait,
art.
I didn't understand half of it.
Yeah.
Until this article, I was like, that was all happening. What the? And then I was like, wait, how is this a story? This is bullshit.
Yeah.
It was the dumbest plot ever.
Yeah, it was
especially for that show.
fucking horrible,
Yeah, it
man.
was awful.
You know,
awful.
unbelievable to the point that I don't even know if they're going to do a season 3. I mean, the attack and the assault that got from being the best show of the year to the
Yeah.
worst. That's hard. That is, it is hard to literally be universally acclaimed as the best television show of a year,
Which it was.
and the very next year, the worst piece of shit on air.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Awful.
Crazy. That goes to show you that all the money in the world and all the talent in the world, if you're telling a bad story, it's still a bad story. Or if the story's not well told, how about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, those are high level actors. I mean, this is
lipstick on that pig. It's still a pig.
yeah, it's still a pig. Totally. Okay. So let's get into some of our listeners' TV shows. You got anybody on your end, Dan? I'll go through my side here.
Let's see. That's a book.
I got one for you out of the gate here. Who just chimed in? Bobby Connor, our
Hey,
good friend Bobby Boobala, the Boobsy,
Boobara.
man of many names. Our original roadie and tour manager who now travels the world with many other acts. You're welcome for that start in the biz, Bobby. But he says with TV, you ready for this?
Yeah.
Controversial. And if we had Kai, I think this conversation would get really interesting. But he's not here. The Leftovers.
Yeah, I haven't watched it.
I hated the
Really?
first season of The Leftovers. I thought it was hipster, dark, wannabe, just garbage. Just we're trying to be so deep, and we're gonna have all these sad people with a techno soundtrack. I also heard that people said the second season is significantly better.
Interesting.
There are people that love both of it. I'm surprised that Bobby would say that's his favorite show of the year. Surprised.
That's surprising. And Kai was definitely in on that show.
He liked it.
He was like, this is a long play show.
Yeah, but
you
that's
have to give it this whole run, which he's prepared to do. And God bless him for it. I haven't even started the damn show.
But
so.
that's Kai, not Kai Ulani. That's Kai L.A. Ulani.
He does
And
live in
Kai L.A. Ulani in L.A., everybody likes The Leftovers. All my L.A. friends are like, what don't you get about it? And it's like, maybe I just don't live in L.A.
He lives in LA, but he works up here. I mean,
But he lives
he's
in
a
L.A.
transplant.
But he sleeps and dreams in the land of the leftovers. Yeah.
That's true, I suppose.
Okay. And Kai did want to be part of this broadcast, but I told him when he comes on for Star Wars, we'll give him his little corner for his picks.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, because maybe he can listen to this episode and he'll have a lot to say.
He's probably
But-
yelling at us right now.
Yeah, Bobby Connor loved The Leftovers. And again, I didn't watch the second season, so I can't hate on it, but I really disliked that show the first season.
Huh.
But that's a love or hate show. His
Interesting.
honorable mention is a show I have not seen. I think I'd love it if I will. Fargo.
I have
People
heard
love
so many good
it's like
things
Mr.
about that
Robot.
show.
No one says bad about it.
Everybody loves it, and it's on my list of shit to do. Apparently, I just can't get to it.
Yeah, okay. But I think that's one of those ones
It's-
we should recommend, even though we
It's a
haven't
lot of
seen it.
people's favorite show.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay, we got, oh man, look at this. Reza chimes in.
Hey,
Reza, who is the producer of my movie, Betting on Baker, who is a hell of a guy who is in the film business, not just like some schmo like me and you.
Mm.
This is a guy who does make films. He has some TV and film picks for us.
Oh, nice.
So we have a resident expert coming in for TV. Whoa, look at this. He says a show called The Grinder. He said it was poorly marketed, but one of the funniest new shows. I don't even know of it.
Really?
The Grinder. He says
I
that
have an honorable mention too.
Okay.
That just reminded me.
okay, The Grinder. He says back to TV, Last Man on Earth Carmichael show.
I'm familiar with the show.
Okay.
Last Man on Earth.
He says, shout out to Yasser. Yasser is one of the guys in Betting on Baker. He's a writer on the show. And it's Jared Carmichael, the creator, and Willie Hunter, the co-creator, are incredibly funny guys. Underrated, fine Last Man on Earth.
Isn't it Gerard Carmichael?
Did I say it wrong? Okay, cool. Yeah, Gerard, absolutely. And you ready for this? Fargo, he said,
Yeah.
for obvious reasons.
Love it.
We haven't seen it.
Gotta get
This,
to
check this out. I've heard some crazy things about this show, and you're a Comedy Central guy. The show is called Nathan For You, And supposedly it is absolutely bizarre. He says Nathan Fielder is honestly the most brilliant person in all of comedy right now, in my opinion. The show is wild.
That's serious.
Supposedly the show is just sketches and real life and like I've heard a couple people say that it's literally, you can't explain it. You can't explain it. So that's something that we should probably check out.
Interesting. Nathan, for you.
Yeah, so that's nice having an expert like that. He gave us stuff that we never would have come up with. The Grinder, Last Man on Earth, and Nathan For You.
Interesting.
Yeah. Nice.
Thanks, Reza.
Yeah, nice picks, Reza. Good stuff. See who else we have here.
While you're looking at that, I'm going to go a quick.
You got
too quick. I got an honorable mention. I haven't finished it yet, so I can't give the full recommendation treatment. But Aziz Ansari has a new sitcom that was a Netflix original.
Okay.
It's called Master of None. And I like Aziz as a comedian. I hate sitcoms, and this is a sitcom, but I don't hate this one, if that makes sense. So he has managed to bridge the gap to me for hating the format by making a good one that's funny.
Okay.
It's fun. It's not like
another Netflix one. Shows us that times are changing, because this is 2 TV series that we mentioned. I'll go back to Ed, our good friend Ed over in the UK, our agent. He says for TV, fucking Brit, man, Peaky Blinders.
This again?
Peaky Blinders.
Owen loves that show.
Go figure. Owen's like half UK, dude. Likes his food bland, you know. Peaky Blinders and a TV show called Turn. I have seen neither. I mean, I know Peaky Blinders.
Yeah.
You know.
Joe FX from the Facebook just responded with Orange is the New Black. Joe,
I'm
gonna disagree with you.
I'm gonna disagree with you too, Joe FX.
Only because the first season was so much better than the rest.
Straight up, check this out. I saw the first season, and again, another Netflix show. Oddly enough, I actually liked it. If you told me that I would enjoy a show about a bunch of women locked in a prison, I'd be like, you're out of your fucking mind. I really liked it.
It's a great show. Well, it's a great show.
The second season lost me. I thought it took a real kind of dark turn that I didn't really like. I found it kind of unrealistic, because it's kind of unrealistic to begin with, right?
Yes.
But it got really unrealistic, is guess what I'm saying? Like, it was the first season was kind of light and serious. I felt like the second season got really serious to the point, like, I'm not even going to watch the third.
The third season was better than the second one. I will absolutely give it that.
Okay.
It was not the first season. Like, they're never going to recapture that.
I just can't see that being one of the best shows of the year, you know? Great. So there's some TV shows from all the listeners, if you will.
I do have
any other listeners on there that hit us up with TV?
Not at the moment, because I couldn't get YouTube comments working. I will figure that out, Graham. Don't worry. I do have a sort of a tacit recommendation of a show that's recently started, and it's
a tacit recommendation.
I've only seen one episode, so I can't say if it's good or not.
Just the word tacit, and to put it with the word recommendation.
Tacit approval for this.
You're a special guy, Spoonie.
Yes, he means that in that way.
Okay.
It's a sci-fi show, and I've heard people mention it like this is going to be the new, Battlestar Galactica. It'll fill the Battlestar Galactica hole in your heart. That show's over. I don't know if it's going to be that good, but it's called The Expanse.
And Expanse.
It's on Sci-Fi, which, that could be good. That could be bad. I watched the first episode. I'm intrigued.
Okay.
I'm going to give it the rest of the season and see if it's as good as people think it could be. I don't know. But if you're into sci-fi, you might want to check that out.
Okay, cool. Let's see what we got though. Interesting. Our what do we got here? Okay, our boy Danny, at Danny Ibanez, writes in, and he says, not 2015 TV, Danny. Earlier we discussed the fact that it's supposed to be 2015, but he said, did either of you ever watch or like Rescue Me with Dennis Leary? He got turned on to it this year and just love it. Well, let me tell you something, Danny. That show's about 20 fucking years old, so it kind of defeats the purpose of 2015.
Have you ever heard of a show called Seinfeld?
Danny, there's this new cartoon out. It's called The Simpsons. Sorry, we're taking cheap shots. You can't defend yourself.
Sorry, man.
I never saw Rescue Me.
I didn't either.
But it was on for a long time. People really liked it.
It didn't look like my kind of show.
That was when Dennis Leary was known as a comedian, and suddenly he did this serious show, and everybody thought it wasn't going to be good, but people loved it.
Yeah. It kind of fell for me, and I don't know because I didn't watch it. Fell in the like NYPD Blue show, like just that genre, CSI, like that type of show.
Hospital shows.
I wasn't going to like. So
I
never
saw
bothered.
an ad for one of these, like, on a very special CSI in Chicago. It was like, they're all together for one night. I'm not making this up. It was like Chicago Hospital, Chicago CSI, and Chicago Fire in a very special episode. It's like, what the fuck is going
the
on?
triple
you know?
crossover.
Here's my thing about hospitals. I don't like them. They bum me out. I find them to always be sad. Why do I want to spend an hour of my life watching hospital shit? And people love
want to
it.
watch Anthony Daniels and George Clooney and just crack jokes with one another.
Yeah, but that was like the first one, and then all hell broke
I
loose.
know.
Yeah. Okay. Kayla Lee writes in, this is not watched too many TV shows this year, she says, but Continuum got really crazy for its final season. I don't know Continuum.
I know it by name only.
Okay. And she says The Librarians is great.
If Conan is part of it, I'm in.
Okay.
Conan the Librarian.
Yeah, a show called The Librarians. So is that what it's come down to? Like, you know, on a very special episode of The Librarians, somebody doesn't know the Dewey Decimal
Religion
System.
is 900, you assholes.
Okay, and she also said, this is interesting. Have not seen it. Know people that really like it. Daredevil, the Netflix show Daredevil.
People did freak out about that show.
Yeah.
That and Jessica Jones.
I heard about that a lot.
I haven't
Yeah.
watched it either. Everybody loves them.
However, I will be tuning into Daredevil's second season. Maybe I'll watch the first because, my favorite comic book character, the Punisher, is coming to Daredevil. You know, so I hope they keep him dark and serious and all that shit, because he used to battle with Daredevil a lot, but they're going to put him in the show. They're going to actually make him a character on it. So that's exciting. Actually,
Nice.
They just released the first photo of him on set. I'm like, well, okay, maybe we'll see what happens. But to me, the Punisher needs to be dark and crazy and a murderer. So if they treat him light, I'm going to be bummed out. But they said the show's very dark. So
They did, and it was kind of, I'm told, realistic too. Like when he gets fucked up in a fight, he's hurting for like the rest of the episode. It's not like he's like, "Woo, I'm good again."
yeah, exactly. Like if you get punched in the ribs, you're bummed for days, if not weeks. That's one of the most unrealistic things about gut shots in movies. Like if you from doing a little bit of from getting into boxing, and one thing I've learned is if you get punched in the ribs, it fucking hurts for a long time. You see street fights and stuff.
Yeah.
These guys trying to punch people in the face. Fuck the face, man. Hit someone in the ribs. I mean, I'm telling you, the show's over, dude. I mean, and these guys, the very next day, they're fine. Oh, shit. Losing sight of things here. So that's our TV.
That's our TV.
So we gave Jinx and Bad Robot the freshies for the year.
Not J.J. Abrams production company.
No.
Bad Robot, Mr. Robot.
I'm sorry, Mr. Robot. I wonder if they get that a lot. Okay, cool. Now, should we move into some odds and ends stuff like books and video games? How about that? Dan, you are our resident
we'll keep it quick.
video game guy. Yeah, talk to us on video games really quick.
I mean, Game of the Year was given by, I don't remember which publication it was given to a title called The Witcher 3, the third in this series. People are freaking out about it. I haven't played it. I can't comment on it. It blows my mind that it did not go to Fallout 4, which came out this year, which is taking over the planet currently and my living room. My lovely girlfriend has been on there all day. Can't get in to play the game. Fallout 4 is amazing. It's an open world game. It's Bethesda. This is the fourth one in this series. Obviously, it's super fun. Great game. Gonna have to play The Witcher to see why it won Game of the Year.
Okay.
That's my pick. And this is my little shim for not 2015, but it is for me because I played it in 2015.
Okay.
BioShock Infinite is a wonderful game.
Okay.
First-person shooter. Came out in 2013. Sorry.
Yeah, keep them coming because I don't game. I respect gaming. I just don't. So I don't know any
BioShock
titles.
Infinite was a great spin on. I think it's the third game in the series.
Okay.
It's super fun. Graphics is beautiful. It's kind of steampunky, which a lot of people don't like, and it just tackles these really big questions like, I don't know, racism, and it's fun. It's a fun game.
Okay.
Those are actually my only two, really, because I didn't do a whole lot of gaming this year.
On the freshman Facebook, which is not really updated all that much, but Yin Yang Man, gentleman named Yin Yang Man, was raving about something called Destiny on PS4.
Destiny.
Do you know what that is?
I do. I haven't played it. I don't know if it came out this year or not. It might have been towards the end of last year.
Okay.
The people that
You
are
just
into
said that's it.
freak out about it.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be very fun. I don't have it.
Okay.
Sorry, Yin Yang.
Anybody else hit us up with any video games, or is that our video games for the year?
That's all I've got.
Cool. So does the freshie go to, since I can't pick, does it go to Fallout 4 or does it go to BioShock?
For me, goes to Fallout. Well, I mean, I'm a lot deeper into BioShock than I am into Fallout because somebody's monopolizing the PlayStation. Okay. But kidding. Yeah, I'm giving it to both of them because
Okay.
actually it has to go to Fallout because that's the game from 2015.
That's where the freshies
BioShock
go.
is 2013.
Okay, well, damn, we've given out our freshies. However, a lot of people have been hitting us up just because unfortunately we always do this, but we said, hey, send us your picks about 2 hours before we recorded the thing. So things
I
are
did mine
starting
last night.
to pour. Well, not me, but for listeners, but people are starting to pour in with some things. So I'm going to go back and let's grab a couple people that have reached out since, just so we can get everybody in there. Bobby Connor, who we spoke about his TV.
Boobara.
Okay. Movies. He backed Star Wars: The Force Awakens. That's his
Obviously.
flick, and that won a freshie. Honorable mention is Inside Out, which is a film that we
Great film.
touched on. Records, rocking into Bobby's records, and he's got, oh, look at this. Jason Isbell, Something More Than Free.
That's
So,
two.
so Bobby backs Adam McDonough's pick, and he says his honorable mention is Circle Waves, Young
Oh,
Chasers.
yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
them.
Kai mentioned them a couple of times at least.
Okay, sounds good. Now, moving into movies, Reza, our resident film expert, what I like about Reza, he's such a film dude. He gives you the quick review. He says a movie called Spy. Oh my, Spy. He says really underrated, well shot, super funny. Melissa McCarthy. That was that Melissa McCarthy movie. Do you know her?
I do, but I don't know a spy movie.
Yeah,
she was in.
is funny in a different way from her usual stick, and Paul Feig did great directing. I can't believe he picked that. That surprise looked just like a bad comedy. Like, oh, this, hey, that's a girl from Bridesmaids. She's blowing up. Put her in a spy comedy. Reza thinks it's one of the best movies of the year. Whoa, it's the first person that brought this one up. Reza says Ant-Man.
Oh yeah, shit. How could I forget about Ant-Man?
I didn't see Ant-Man. Did
It
you?
was fun. I did.
You liked it? Okay.
I saw it in England.
He said Paul Rudd is hilarious. Feels like a Marvel movie, but it's its own movie at the same time. Wow.
Yeah, so that's accurate. That's accurate.
Okay. Ant-Man. And then Spotlight, which is one that we said
talked about.
we think we should see, but we haven't. He says, great throwback to old investigation style movies. Really infuriating topic. I kind of want to see that. I love my old, like, All the President's Men, like when newspaper reporters are trying to break a case and it gets all dangerous. And I think that's what this is. I'd like to see that. Wow. Have you heard anything about The Big Short, which just came out?
I've only seen a couple of things on it, and it's pissing people off.
Okay, my favorite
in a good way.
One of my favorite directors is Adam McKay because he's the Step Brothers guy. He's the
Ah.
Will Ferrell guy. He's the I just think he just has done some of the funniest movies. This is his first kind of serious film.
Mhm.
And Reza says Adam McKay knocked this one out very tongue-in-cheek while still doing a lot of justice to important topics of the financial fraud that happened leading up to 2008. Acting was great all around. And that's for Adam McKay's first serious film, but he got a lot of big actors in it. He's got
Yeah, he
like
did.
Steve
Steve
Carell. And so there's Reza's picks. And I mean, Reza, again, is our resident film
He's
expert.
a movie dude.
Yeah. So there's some interesting picks. Here's some other people we missed. Oh, Zeke, our angry guest, Star Wars was dope. That's his movie of the year. He says The Reverend is gonna be dope, and
Revenant.
I agree
The
with him.
Revenant.
Although that's in limited release now, I don't think it's out now, like in LA. But I'm not counting that till next year because it's not going to be in most theaters until January 1st.
All right.
So that's a next year movie. But yeah, that looks good. No doubt about it. Adam McDonough, he said his favorite movie was Bridge of Spies.
Interesting.
So that's his favorite movie of the year. And his favorite TV show was Mr. Robot.
Good show. Good show.
Good show. Okay. And then let's see some of our other friends on Twitter because we're bouncing around a little bit here. But it's always nice to see. We wanted to fill in the gaps, get everybody's picks in. Our boy Danny Taylor says, I am getting ripped apart left and right. But he says, good job. Love you, dudes. We love you too, Dan. We hope tonight you enjoy Rescue Me while you listen to Clutch in the background. Okay, who else we got here? Fuzz says this year his records that he liked were People on Vacation and Suburban Legends. Got to respect both of those bands. What do we got? Oh, listen to this. Fuzz, Outside the Box. He loved Tomorrowland. And I've heard some other people say that was a lot better than they expected.
I enjoyed it. I watched it.
Saw it.
I watched it on a plane.
Okay.
Great plane movie, by the way. It's not what I thought it was going to be.
Total plane movie.
Not what I thought it was going to be, but it was. I did enjoy it.
Okay.
I thought it was going to be a bit more serious, and it was lighthearted and like a kind of a kids Goonies-ish age movie. But it was good.
Okay.
I can't argue.
Okay. Got it. I like it. He said even though it got bad reviews, that he loved Jurassic World.
I did not see that.
I did not see Jurassic World. Man, the last one was just so bad. I
Yeah.
didn't want to go back there, but interesting. Very good. Great. So what else we got here? Oh, geez. Going back to our Miss Thelussen over in the Netherlands, and it's always neat to get a European view. And I'm serious when I say that because I think things are marketed a little differently over there.
Absolutely, they are.
She said, TV. Check this out. I've only heard about this in the past couple days, but there's something new on Netflix called Making a Murderer. And that was one of her favorite TVs. And I think it's got like a Jinx kind of feel, but that's her favorite TV show of the year. And it's just starting to catch some activity right now. Like I saw, like it was like trending on Twitter last night. I'm like, whoa, what is this? So we'll have to check that one out. Making a Murderer. That's her favorite of the year. And she threw out some favorite shows, seeing U2 and Yellow Card, okay, I guess, and seeing the Mountain Goats and the Swellers, who I think were on their final tour ever, if I believe remember correctly. Those are some good shows. Wish I would have saw those. Great, so moving around, and a lot of people talk wrestling. We have a lot of fans that listen to wrestling. A lot of people enjoy the NXT, which is sort of like the upcoming guys on WWE before they send them to Raw. A lot of people reached out and plugged that. Star Wars, WWE, NXT. Oh man, I mean, I think we got a lot of the big hits here. Wait. Coming in from Fuzz, who is at heel_FUZ. My picks for games. Ready for Splatoon on Wii U. Okay. Splatoon. Okay.
Yeah. It would. I played it once. I wasn't that enamored with it, but
okay. Now
this is one. It could be fun.
I don't know shit about games, but I saw this commercial, and this is the game that I would play this year: Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah, I haven't bought it yet.
You haven't got that?
I almost bought it last night,
even after seeing Wars,
and I didn't because 2 reasons. I'm gonna get it eventually. A, you have to have a PlayStation Plus account.
Okay.
To be able to play online, which is, $20 or $30 a year.
Okay.
Not that big of a deal. Secondly, it's not getting that great of reviews.
God, the commercials look awesome. I know
it looks incredible, visually beautiful. But a lot of what I've read, and I'm sure they're going to fix it as they, update and whatever, is that there's like really only one good map, and it was really weighted to one side or the other. I don't remember which. And it was kind of after that, I was like, well, okay, I can play this map forever, but the rest of them are just kind of like add-ons that are like not that fun.
Okay.
And I read that from a lot of different sources. It wasn't one dude. It was like several people were like, this is a little shy of what it should be, because I played the shit out of Battlefront 2. Loved it. Super fun. So
and Fuzz also agrees with you. He says, I agree with Dan. All the BioShocks are God. Is that even?
BioShock is fun, man. It's a fun game, especially Infinite. It's really it was a nice iteration of that series.
Okay. Cool. Well, that's a lot of listener input, man.
If you're still listening, God bless you, because this has gone on long. We are dragging this one out, but that's all right.
Yeah. We are. That's fine. It's a year end, man. It's a year end. So those were our picks for entertainment and a lot of different feedback from listeners. We also got a lot of other picks from people that I just don't think,
books.
It's crazy. Thank you so much for everybody that wrote in. If we didn't get to your picks, we do appreciate them, but a lot of them are coming in sort of after the fact. Yep. So we can only say Star Wars so many times. But those are our freshies for the year. Dan, quick recap. You got our freshies for movies, and freshie basically is the movie Dan picks and the movie Chris picks. Our freshies for movies this year, that means you have to see these goddamn movies. Number 1 is Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Obvious.
That's Dan's pick. I back it. Number 2 is The Hateful Eight, which is basically coming out on the 31st, but it did come out early this year. Tarantino masterpiece. Those are our picks. TV, we got The Jinx and Mr. Robot.
Hell yeah.
Those are our 2 picks for TV this year. And records, our 2 picks are Punchline Thrilled and Mountain Goats Beat the Champ.
You got it.
Along with many others that we love. And then our pick for video games, there's 2 of them.
Fallout 4 and BioShock Infinite, which again, BioShock doesn't really fall into this year because it was 2013, but it's a great game, and if you haven't played it, you will like it.
Awesome.
I promise.
A lot of good stuff, and I can basically guarantee if you listen or check out any of the things that at least we picked as our top freshies, you are going to be stoked, and please do, and let us know when you do check those out.
Absolutely.
If your opinion on any of that has changed, because that's a great thing about having your year end. This is usually all the stuff that you find out about at the end of the year that you watch at the beginning of next year or listen to at the beginning of next year.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, and I think it was all, like I said, the year ended great in terms of film, at least for me. It ended great. I think it was a good year for. I mean, it started great with music because my favorite record came out at the top of the year, and the Jinx came. My favorite TV show came out at the top of the year, and then my favorite movies came out at the end of the year. So this was a great year for me in terms of entertainment.
It was a good year in media.
Yeah.
I agree.
A good year in media. 2015. There's some other stuff that sucked this year, but we're not talking about that. We're just kind of talking about media.
There's always stuff that sucks.
Fucking health issues everywhere, at least in my extended family and friends. A
that
lot of bad health shit floating around. Fucking a lot of people coming up with cancer and shit.
Huh.
So that shit sucked. And my God, some of the terrorist stuff that happened this year that we addressed.
So
a lot
terrible.
of that, all that stuff in San Bernardino, and then so I felt like there was a lot of bad shit this year.
Well, how about fucking Lemmy?
Oh my God.
Didn't even talk about it.
Lemmy died yesterday.
Yeah, Lemmy died yesterday.
I'm not a huge Motorhead fan.
Nor I.
Yet I respect Lemmy and respect them. That's like, if you like Motorhead and you like Lemmy, I'm like, that's kick ass. Just never kicked my ass.
Right.
You know? But that's a big guy. That's a big guy to
That's
go.
a big legend to lose.
Yeah, yeah. Because he was such an iconic kind of guy.
Very much so.
And hey, we got to say we played on a show with Motorhead.
We did.
Yeah, it's super cool. I mean, it was a festival, but I don't give a fuck. There's a poster, our name's on it, and so is Motorhead's.
Yep.
Motorhead's is at the top, very, very big. Ours is at the bottom, very, very small. But God damn it, we were there.
Just like the one with our name and Radiohead's name.
Yeah. I remember seeing him walking around backstage, and my impression of him was, this is going to sound really funny, but when you see somebody like real famous like that or legendary, he had real intense chicken legs. Like he was like a skinny old man. He looked skinny.
Yeah.
Like the pictures make him look kind of badass, but I just remember like, Jesus, man.
You never see him full body. It's always like,
it's always up. He had these little skinny man legs with like the big boots, but lost a legend, you know? Yeah, it's an interesting year. Maybe we'll talk about the year a little more in depth, but this was about our favorites. This was the freshies. This was the award ceremony. This is what our listeners were into. And again, thank you everybody that chimed in. Really do appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. And as always, Dan, New Year coming. Let's talk about the new year a little bit, because this will be the last pod that people hear this year.
Yep.
A little long. It's okay. I know some topics. I'm gonna just throw them out already. We got a Star Wars review coming up.
Definitely.
We're gonna bring Kai in, our Star Wars expert. We're gonna talk in depth about the new Star Wars, what we thought about it, reviews, spoilers, now that everybody's seen it. We're gonna talk an episode about Tarantino, the films of Tarantino, and in depth about the Hateful Eight once you get to see it.
Yep.
Obviously, we need you to do that. We're gonna have an episode about food. We're gonna talk about our favorite foods, our least favorite foods, our greatest meals, our favorite restaurants. We're going to talk about food.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Those are some episodes coming up. And again, we got a lot of guests. We got a lot of callers. We got a lot of people we want to talk to. We're still getting through.
I think I got it aired out.
Oh, that's exciting.
For Skype calls anyway. So
okay.
if people can Skype, we could do it.
That's really exciting.
Yeah.
A lot of people we want to talk to, a lot of people that have, expressed interest in being on the cast. Obviously, listeners of this podcast know this year we took a big change, and we want to thank everybody for sticking with us.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out.
Because we used to be at a real recording studio, and we used to have 4 guys that did it, and we had the ability to really have guests on left and right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, basically people got busy. Times got tough with the studio. Not tough, but busy with the studio.
Times got busy.
Kai got really busy. Everybody kind of got busy, but you and I decided to hold it down for the listeners.
Yeah.
And, we maintained a lot of people, I mean, we was probably a little bit of a drop, but it wasn't as intense as we expected.
Correct.
And that's really cool. And we're still getting new people all the time. You can go back, you can listen to all the old episodes. We touched base on a lot of stuff, of course. Dan, where can people find everybody? Where can they be updated to what's going on?
If you want updates as to what's happening, find us on Facebook or Twitter. We are at Fresh Talk Pod on the Twitter. We are facebook.com/Fresh Talk Podcast on Facebook. But if you want to get this delivered to you every single week that we post it, just subscribe in your podcatcher.
Yeah.
We're on iTunes. We're hopefully on the other podcast networks.
If you have
as
not
well.
done that, do that. Then you get it every week.
And you get the little number 1 next to your podcast icon when we post a new one.
And also, we do film these live. Right now, we are talking and we are on a camera.
Yep.
And if you are lucky enough to see the tweet or the text or the Facebook when we're actually getting ready to record it, because we usually only post it an hour or two before, you can actually watch live. And because we did this one a little earlier today, we actually had a couple friends that actually tuned in. So if you're watching this right now, hello. Welcome to Dan's parents' basement. Lovely place.
It's very, very bland.
Yes. Yeah, so we are offering that, but we'll get the Skype calls coming in. So
Yeah,
that's what would be fun. So then we get a guy like Danny to come on and defend the clutch
defend
pick.
his position.
Yes, defend the clutch, stuff like that would be great. You get Graham to come on and just basically scream Star Wars for 5 minutes, and then we hang up. A lot of our frequent guests and listeners, it'd be good to have them on.
Definitely.
So I'm excited about that in the new year. So we shall continue into another year of Fresh Talk and see where it takes us.
Hell yeah.
And hopefully the technology will increase, the guests will increase. And as always, topics, ideas, let us know what you want us to talk about.
Because we'll talk about it.
We will talk about it. Absolutely.
Honey Badger don't care.
Yeah. Well, Dan, it's been a great year.
It has been a great year.
It's been a great year. And hopefully next year, I think life in general is going to be a very interesting year.
You mean the MXPX record?
Nice. Look at that. See, that's why you should listen to the end of the episode, because you never know when Dan's going to sneak in an MXPX reference. There's a lot of good things coming. Come Hell or High Water, the movie I made, is coming out. I'm excited about that.
You keep threatening to release this movie.
Yes, we do. We keep threatening. It is done. It's coming out next year at some point. I'm excited about that. Obviously, I'll be talking about that a lot next year. Hopefully, a lot of adventures come with that. There's some talk about getting the band back together, which basically means we actually show up and practice.
Yeah.
But there's some talk of some freshman activity next
really?
year. Very preliminary. We'll see how it all leads out. But
all right.
yeah, just
only one of
but
them.
by me laying in bed at night, man, we should play some shows. But we should have some stuff coming up next year.
All right,
so
cool.
I think it's gonna be a fun year. It's gonna be an interesting year, a different year, but a lot of good things happening. So there you go.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
And thank you, dear listener, for sticking with us through it all.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. If you're there out there.
We broke many records today. We got up to 9 viewers all at one time.
9 people watching, huh?
Yeah. We'll have to start doing this on weekends.
Yeah. I feel like if you're watching it though, it looks like one of those like interviews, like the like when you interview a criminal, where like the prosecution's like, where were you on the night? And the guy's like, oh yeah, and they get you like a Coke or a soda, like, you want something from the vending machine? I'll have a Fanta.
I'll try and get that table with a handcuff nailed to the table
Yeah,
for the next episode.
Very dark room. Looks like not dark, but just looks like.
Well, I mean, it is getting dark really early these days. So
looks like something
running out of natural light.
Looks like something horrible happened in here.
Something horrible may have happened.
The next episode, we need art. We need art right there.
All right.
Poster of the week.
Who's art?
Well, you can just have different things hang up.
How are you going to hang him up there? That sounds painful.
No, you already have a little nail up there for a picture. See that?
You just missed my entire joke. That's fine.
Oh, I get it.
Dumb. I know.
Always the atheist. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Dan, shall we do it together? Shall we tell them to cue the year-end Bossa Nova?
Yeah.
On 3.
All
1,
right.
2, 3. Cue the Bossa Nova.
Hey, thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah, if you're still there.
If you're still there, we're probably going to do another one of these if you want to hang around.
Yeah.
Up to you.
We'll have to think about that.
We'll have to think about that.
Yeah. Kill him for now, though.
Bye.